there, my name's Saskia and I'm really excited to be here with you guys today because I want to give back. I want to give back to you who have been doing so much for us. This method that I teach is postural therapy. It's called the Bowspring. And so I've been thinking about how you spend so much time on your feet or sitting at desks or lifting and pushing, and how doing these actions repeatedly out of balance is going to be causing certain aches and pains and eventually even injuries within your body. So I've prepared a little video for you. I really hope you get some benefit and some relief. Thank you so much for everything you've been doing, and click on the link below and I look forward to seeing you there later. Hi there, my name's Saskia and I teach the Bowspring method. I'm super passionate about it because what I see is bodies coming out of pain. So the Bowspring is based on primal movements and helping us as human beings return to more natural ways of moving. Through tensegrity, through engaging our connective tissue as one unit and offering it a three-dimensional tone, which we call tension with integrity, tensegrity, so that the whole is working as one. And the effects of this are pain relief, stress relief, aches and pains disappear, and even injuries can be reversed through changing the way we unconsciously move. So I teach this method here in the north of Ibiza at Casa del Carmen, immersed in nature, and I've got a website, saskiagriffiths.com. Check out any of my online offerings. In the meantime, I've designed a 20-minute sequence for you wonderful, amazing NHS key workers who have been out there on the front, putting your lives on the line for our own health and safety. And I really hope that this sequence brings you a little bit of relief. So you're going to want to stand barefoot with your feet about hip width apart, and ideally you want to be barefoot so that you're feeling your contact with the earth. And let's start with a little centering. So relaxing your hands down by your sides, and we're going to take a few conscious breaths with our eyes closed, softening your jaw and allowing the breath to flow in and out. On the inhale, you're going to feel an expansion of your rib cage. And on the exhale, feel a softening of your knees, a softening of your jaw. Inhaling and feeling a widening, a fullness and a lift of your entire rib cage, like it's a hot air balloon rising up towards the sky. And on the exhale, a rooting down into the earth. So during the whole practice, there's an invitation to root and rise with the breath. Open your eyes and have a look at your hands, palms face up. Gently curl the first joint of each finger inwards, so you're creating like a staircase shape. And make your fingers, the fingertips, really soft and sensitive. You can place your thumb to the middle pad of your index finger. So we call this seed hands. The center of the palm is a deep hollow, like you're holding water. And the base of the palm is toned and engaged. Reach your arms out in front of your shoulders, shoulder height and shoulder width. And press, extend out through your knuckles. Bend your knees again and draw your hips back in space. So the weight is on the front of your feet, your heels are light. And we're just going to take a little seaweed sway. So keeping the hips anchored back, just move your ribs side to side. So you can arc left ear over left shoulder as the right ribs rise, and arc right ear to right shoulder, left ribs rise. Taking a few arcs from side to side, and you can let the movements grow until the head and your hips start to move with you, keeping the nice little bend in your knees so that they feel nice and springy. Pushing and extending out through your knuckles. And then come all the way back to center. Something I think we've all been missing is a hug, so give yourself a really nice big hug with your hands onto your shoulders. Arc your right ear over to your right shoulder, and you can lower your chin down towards your right shoulder slightly. Soften the knees forwards and park your hips over to the right, maintaining the weight to the front of the feet. And then you're going to push and extend your left scapula, your left shoulder, and your left side ribs wide up towards the sky. Breathing into that space. And then coming all the way back up to center, switch your hands, and we'll go over to the other side. So your fingers are nicely cupping over your shoulders, knees stay bent with the weight remaining on the front of your feet, and arc over towards the left. You can slightly tilt your chin down towards your left shoulder and park your hips over to the left, just a little bit. And then push and extend out through your right shoulder, scapula, and right side ribs, widening and breathing. And coming all the way back up to center. Now we're going to pretend you're holding a big bus wheel out in front of you. So the fingers are soft again, and you're squeezing, toning the base of your palm. You can rotate your elbows wide, again soften your knees, and slide your thighs back in space, maintaining the weight towards the front of the feet, so there's a springiness, a sponginess through your legs. And then turn the bus wheel, so you keep the same relationship between your hands. Turn the bus wheel to the right, and imagine somebody hooks your left elbow and lifts your left elbow to the sky. And now turn your gaze down towards your right elbow, push and extend forwards through your knuckles, park your hips over to the right, and breathe into your left side body. And pressing your head back, rise all the way back up to center, second side, arcing and turning the wheel over towards your left. Park your hips slightly to the left, and like somebody hooks your right elbow, lifts it up to the sky. You can tilt your chin down towards your left shoulder. Weight stays to the front of the feet, heels are light, and there's a widening of your right ribs up to the sky. Breathing into those tissues as they open, and coming all the way back up to center. Bring your hands into a low globe, so the fingertips touch lightly, and you make the shape of a globe with your hands. The hands are at about the height of your navel. Push your elbows wide to the sides like you're hugging a big tree, and then gently squeeze your fingers in towards the center of your palm. Squeezing the base of your palm and shifting your weight over to the right, step your left foot wide to the side, shift your weight over to the left, and step your right foot wide to the side. Turn your hands into horseshoe hands, thumbs in, fingers out, onto the base of your thighs, just above your kneecaps. Push your knees forwards and draw the knees in slightly, so you roll onto the inner edges of your feet. That way you can feel your sit bones widening back and up like a peacock fanning out its tail. Push your knees up in to meet the resistance of your hands, and then push your arms down into your knees. And we're going to take an easy twist side to side. So you bring your left shoulder towards your right knee, maintaining the hips back and up, still weighting through the inner edges, inner seams of the legs and the feet. Breathing and coming back to center into the second side. Keep squeezing your knees in towards your thumbs, pushing your thigh bones back and up. And come back to center. Bring your fingertips to touch the earth lightly, both hands. So you can place the dome shapes down to the ground. And like you want to touch just the tips of your nails to the earth. Bend your knees and push your thigh bones back and up. Again, roll onto the inner edges of your feet, squeezing your knees in, pushing your thighs back, up, and lengthen your belly, lengthen your throat over your hands. You can take a few bend and extends, just opening up through the back of the legs. So you're really light on the fingertips. There's no weight on your hands. Your ribs are rising. And then you're going to place one hand onto your knee, The other hand onto your knee to rise back up. Bring both hands into a low globe again. Find the springiness in your feet and step your feet back in towards the center. So about hip width apart again. Release your hands down by your sides. Take a full breath in and feel an expansion of your ribs, wide to the sides, especially the base ribs here, so that you're feeling your diaphragm widen. Then you're going to fill up through the back of your ribs and rise the entire rib cage away from gravity. We call this radiant heart. It's the basis of the algorithm of the Bowspring method. So this expansion on all sides of the ribs and lifting up and away. So we're going to keep this radial expansion, this inner fullness, and we're going to step back for some lunges. So bringing your hands this time, come back into globe hands, so touching your fingers lightly, elbows wide, shift the weight to the right, and lift your left foot and step your left foot back for not too far, just a small lunge. So you just want to take a small step backwards. And then you're going to bring your hands into that seed shape again, push your seeds forwards, and press your sit bones back and wide. So instead of going up and down here, just bending the knees, think of growing the distance between your hands and your groins, pushing your hips back in space. Inhale, press the arms down and rise up. Eyes to the horizon, and take a few pulses. Inhale, rise up. So we're engaging our posterior chain here, getting the glutes to fire up, hamstrings. Take a couple more pulses. So you're using your arms, filling up your ribs. And then you're going to push your arms down whilst you step your back foot forwards and prepare for the second side. Step your right foot back, small step back, push your arms forwards, extend the knuckles away from your groins and press the hips back in space. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, root back. Inhale, rise. Ribs full on all sides the whole time. Last one. Exhale, root back in space. Press your arms down as you step your back foot forwards and come back to step about hip width apart. Now place your hands onto your waistline. So you want your thumbs to the back of your body and your fingers forwards. Elbows are coming forwards. Soften your knees again and shift the weight back to the front of your feet so that there's a little springiness through the legs and the thigh bones can push back. Keeping your ribs full on all sides. And now you can drag the tissues from the back of your body, from your lumbar curve, forwards over your hip bones. So you want to bring all the tissues from the back of the body towards your tummy, towards the front. So you're massaging and softening all the tissues in an area where a lot of us have experienced a lot of tightness. And one of the things that's really helped me is to bend my knees, to notice when I have a tendency to hyperextend and lock my knees back and have the weight on my heels, and just shifting that habit so the weight is on the front, there's a springiness in the knees, has really helped relieve a lot of pain that I used to experience in my sciatic and lower back. Bringing all those tissues forwards and relieving your waistline, your lumbar. And then we're going to bring the hands to cup the sides of your neck, hug your elbows into the midline, and let your hands slide forwards. So the spine is in between your fingers and your hands are cupping all the tissues at the sides of your neck. There's still a springiness in the knees with the thigh bones pressing back. Elbows pull forwards whilst the head, you push it back, open your jaw and slide all the tissues from the back of your neck towards the front of your body. So you're carving your own neck, bowing it. And then we're going to place our hands to the base of your skull. So the thumb is right to the base of your occiput, one hand on top of the other. Elbows hug into the midline, knees bent, thigh bones back. And now press your head back into your hands as you rise your elbows, rise your ribs up to the sky. Again, soften the knees forwards, weight on the front of the feet, press your thigh bones back and up, and lift your whole rib cage up towards the sky. releasing your hands back down by your sides. Close your eyes. Feel your body in space, all the way from the toe tips to the fingertips to the crown of your head. And notice whether you can perceive your heartbeat through your tissues. Recognizing this entire bodysuit, fascial webbing that holds all your individual pieces together. And taking a few deep breaths, feeling an expansion of your ribs as you inhale, a widening, a fullness and a lift. And as you exhale, a softness. Softness in the jaw, softness in your knees, softness in your toes. So this is a really simple, basic bowspring practice that you can practice at any moment, at any time, and I really hope that it brings you some relief. Thank you so much again for everything that you're doing, and if you liked my work, please check out my website, saskiagriffiths.com. The Bowspring system is globalbowspring.com, and you can find all our offerings online, and hopefully I'll be able to welcome you here in Ibiza soon. Take care.